Roseann McCulley lived a calm suburban life in Missouri, surrounded by secrets and turmoil. Behind her smile was a story of love turned to fear and survival against all difficulties. This is the riveting story of a lady who faced the unthinkable and made a decision that changed her life forever. Dive deep into a case that calls into question our sense of justice, self-defense, and the unseen battles that countless people face every day. This is the story of Roseann McCulley. Roseann McCulley, also known as Rosie, is 34 years old and was born on December 8, 1986. She was born in Gosnell, Arkansas, and later moved to St. Louis, Missouri. She graduated from Ladue Horton Watkins High School and went on to study communications at the University of Missouri in St. Louis. Roseann had a passion for curating unique designs, which inspired her to launch her own business, Glitter on 8th Craft Studio, where she created handmade things, offered affordable craft supplies, and posted simple lessons. She would characterize our friends and family as beautiful souls with a sweet and intelligent personality. She was well known for her sense of humor, lively demeanor, and affection for her 3 children. She was a loving mother to her 13-year-old son, Caden Johnson, 6-year-old daughter, Kaylee Brooks, and 1-year-old daughter. She established a long-term relationship with Bobby McCulley, and the two married in 2018. They have a 1-year-old daughter. Together, they had 8 children. The marriage appeared to be going well at first. They portrayed a happy, loving marriage. However, the marriage deteriorated into a violent and publicly toxic situation. Bobby's violent past dates back to 2008, including an assault arrest, many child support battles, and a 2017 domestic altercation that resulted in no charges. Roseann frequently discusses the couple's rocky relationship on social media and claims Bobby hit her. She said in an earlier post that they were moving out and requested help relocating his belongings. Friends worried about Rosann's safety immediately. She wrote on Facebook about being hospitalized after her spouse beat her violently. The post stated that he smashed her in the head with steel-toed boots and tried to beat her with the table. Her face and head were swollen from several injuries. Bobby McCulley said on his wife's Facebook page a week later, "Everyone loved the concert. Updates forthcoming." Roseann says she charged McCulley after he slapped her. Bobby filed for divorce against Roseann on February 28th. The St. Louis County Police Department got complaints of a suspicious person near Rosann's home at 8:30 p.m. on March 4th, but they couldn't uncover anything, so they left. Police received gunshot complaints 3 hours later at that site. A North St. Louis County mother and her 2 children were shot and killed at home. The victims, Roseann McCulley and her 2 children, 13-year-old Caden Johnson and 6-year-old Kaylee Brooks. The mother's ex-husband, Bobby McCulley III, was the suspect. Bobby disappeared with their 1-year-old daughter 5 days after filing for divorce after murdering his wife and 2 stepchildren, prompting an Amber Notice. After the murder, authorities learned that the 1-year-old was dropped off at a family member's house in the early morning, canceling the Amber Alert. Police initiated a manhunt for Bobby and spotted his vehicle at 8 a.m. after a gunfire incident in the 1300 block of Clinton in St. Louis. According to investigators, Bobby committed suicide, and his body was discovered nearby. In a despicable maneuver, he dodged 3 counts of first-degree murder, 7 counts of armed criminal action, 3 counts of first-degree kidnapping, 1 crime of burglary, and 7 acts of armed criminal activity. Before the murders, authorities were searching for Bobby after Roseann alerted them of the recent abuse. Unfortunately, they did not discover him in time. Michelle Clayton, Bobby's mother, was later arrested for misleading and lying to police in order to prevent her son's detention. Neighbors described their reactions to the triple homicide, which had taken place in their formerly peaceful and tranquil hamlet. There is a lot of grief in that area. People can't stop thinking about the mother and 2 children who died, as well as the 1-year-old who was left behind. A tragic incident unfolded as authorities discovered the lifeless bodies of Roseann McCulley, a 34-year-old woman, along with her 13-year-old son and 6-year-old daughter, all victims of a fatal shooting within the confines of their own home. The alleged perpetrator, who happened to be McCulley's estranged husband, reportedly shot the victims and then fled the scene with their 1-year-old child. The suspect was later found dead in North St. Louis, having taken their own life with a gunshot wound, according to the police. There once was a young lady who possessed remarkable beauty. The children displayed an impressive level of determination. The neighbors reported that the mother was last seen observing her children playing outside their residence on Wednesday. In memory of the family, a bouquet of flowers now graces this spot. While sleeping, the individual has been experimenting with various names. She was attempting to fall asleep. She was devastated. Prayers are being sent from the user and their family to the family in need. The unfortunate incident deeply troubled the family. It was discovered that McCulley had 2 children who attended the Hazelwood School District. According to the neighbors, the family had resided in that home for a period of 6 years. According to court documents, Bobby allegedly entered Roseann's home with the intention of causing her harm. He held her and the children captive, against their wishes. After several hours, they met their demise at his hands. In the last couple of weeks, there have been at least 5 police calls from the McCulley home, with one of them being related to domestic violence. A neighbor recounted her observations of the incident in a statement. Upon awakening, a cacophony of screams, yells, and thunderous bangs filled the air. The lights in Rosie's room flickered 3 times. He dialed her phone number twice, but she did not respond. There was a sense of unease in the air. She dialed 911. A group of individuals arrived and surveyed their surroundings. At first, nothing was visible to them. A sudden rush of adrenaline propelled them towards the rear, only to swiftly return to the front, guns at the ready. With authority in their voices, they declared, "It's the police." The door swung open forcefully, revealing a lifeless body sprawled across the threshold. When all was said and done, by the time everything was heard and they arrived, it was already too late for her and the children. Earlier, the police had been summoned to the residence due to a report of a suspicious individual loitering in the vicinity. The whereabouts of the police search and their efforts to contact the victims remain uncertain. Bobby was already inside the home when the report stated that he proceeded to shoot the victims before the police arrived for the second time. A dear friend of Roseann, who believes she was the last individual to have seen her before her untimely demise, reminisced about her final days and exchanged messages. She was adored by many due to her kind and gentle nature. Stephanie St. John's close friend, Rosie McCulley, affectionately referred to Stephanie as her auntie, while Stephanie lovingly called Rosie her niece. Rosie had always kept the abuse she endured to herself, until just 2 weeks ago, when she finally opened up about it. He viciously attacked her, inflicting severe harm. After being released from the hospital, Rosie McCulley took to social media to share an update on her injuries. According to her, he managed to halt the impact on her chest and abdomen, resulting in severe bruising and swelling in that area. The intensity of her pain was such that she mentioned receiving morphine through her IV. St. John encouraged her friend to take her kids and find a safe place to stay. She firmly stated that she needed him to vacate the premises. It doesn't matter where they go. The assistant urged the user to leave the current location. Concerned friends feared that the subsequent incident would be even more severe, as Bobby McCulley had shared a threatening message on Rosie's Facebook page. The announcement was made, urging everyone to enjoy the show. Stay tuned for what's to come. The police were on the lookout for Bobby McCulley, as they had received reports of domestic violence. However, they did not perceive him as an immediate danger. They have been searching for the suspect. She had made the decision to remain at the residence with her children. Last night, there were no indications that he would return. St. John mentioned that she had recently spoken to Rosie at approximately 6:30, but had intended to maintain regular communication. He was calling. Without receiving a response, a text message was sent to her. At approximately 10:30, St. John sent a text message in response. There was a lot of activity in the response. The assistant will respond to you shortly. As St. John prepared to venture out into the streets, he noticed something unusual about Rosie's reaction. It seemed that she wasn't responding in the way he had expected. Bobby was commanded to release her niece by him. There was silence. However, rest assured that every effort will be made to ensure that she remains deeply connected to her family. Upon discovering Bobby's lifeless body, the authorities determined that he had tragically ended his own life inside the vehicle. Police records indicate that there have been several calls made from the McCulley home in the past few weeks. There was a case involving domestic violence. Upon witnessing the extent of her injuries, authorities swiftly classified the incident as a misdemeanor, specifically Assault 3. Consequently, they opted to issue a wanted notice instead of actively pursuing the perpetrator. If he had encountered them during a routine traffic stop, there was a chance they would have apprehended him. However, they did not actively pursue him. Michelle Sherrod, the president and CEO of All Solutions, believes that events like the one on Saturday are crucial in putting an end to domestic violence, despite the sadness they may bring. At the rally, Rosie's younger sister made a statement. On February 20th, a terrible incident occurred where someone brutally attacked the user's sister. 12 days later, news broke that she and 2 of her children had tragically passed away. Everything was done by the user's sister. The report was filed on the same day that she was beaten. Despite her efforts to follow up with detectives and officers in charge of the case, it proved insufficient to ensure her safety. Rosie sent my mother and me a recent update, informing us that her estranged husband was still at large and had not been apprehended by the police. Scared for her life, she had followed all the necessary steps. A close friend of Roseann spoke about her unwavering determination to never stay silent. Curiosity surrounds her persistent posting and refusal to keep her personal life under wraps. It seems that, regardless of the circumstances, her ultimate goal was to connect with someone and seek assistance. Upon conducting a comprehensive investigation into Bobby McCulley's background, the police, along with his friends and family, were taken aback by the startling revelations they unearthed. Prior to his relationship with Roseann, Bobby McCulley had a troubling history of women coming forward and accusing him of abuse. 2 women from the past had come forward with allegations of domestic violence 5 years ago. According to court documents, 2 women expressed their fear of McCulley by writing to the courts. Back in 2016, a remarkable woman managed to secure a complete order of protection. By hand, she recounted the harrowing incident where Bobby brandished a gun, threatening her and her child's safety. Declining to speak with Fox, she instead took to social media to express her ongoing fear, revealing that she now carries a loaded gun with her at all times. In 2016, another woman came forward, recounting an incident that took place in June of that same year. She revealed that police had been called to intervene in a case of domestic violence. A menacing figure arrived at the protagonist's home, instilling fear in their heart as they posed a threat to their beloved mother. His new girlfriend was sent to his mother's home to confront me. McCulley's past unveils a dark chapter in his life, dating back over a decade when he was just 23 years old. According to court records, he admitted to the crime of false imprisonment, which entails unlawfully restraining someone and interfering with a victim or witness. As a result of his conviction, he was sentenced to 1 year of probation, during which he was required to wear an ankle monitor. It remains uncertain whether Roseann had any knowledge of Bobby's criminal history before entering into a relationship with him. A 1-year-old daughter, left without parents, is now being cared for by her family. He appeared to be a cute boy. This is the story of Roseann McCulley. Comment down below your viewpoint and let us know what your take on this case is. And if you like our true crime-based videos contents, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel, because we make these videos just for you guys, and your like, comments, and subscriptions encourages us to keep making videos. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more updates on this developing case.